Thank you, Concorda. Minister, not only has Donegal been left out of the national infrastructure projects, but it is becoming very clear that persistent cost overruns in specific projects provided funding under the National Development Plan will have a negative financial impact on smaller, localised projects across the country and in Donegal in particular. For Donegal, these concerns regarding the National Development Plan include funding commitments for a number of local community hospitals, including St Joseph's in Sonorra and the Shield Hospital in Ballyshannon. The Taoiseach has denied the fact that the cost overruns with the National Children's Hospital has anything to do with this, but doubts remain, and very strong doubts within the community in Donegal. Doubt also remains about funding for flood defences, which have been called into question by local residents, particularly in Buncrana, as to date there has been no commitments made by this government or the local authorities suggesting that the future funding is uncertain. This is particularly worrying as a provisional timeline of 10 years given in the National Development Plan is already 10 years too late for communities affected who know that furthermore the much awaited upgrade to the A5, which is a vital infrastructural project and a key economic driver for the regeneration of the North West, had its funding deferred to address cost overruns to the National Children's Hospital. A pattern is emerging here. There's a history of cost overruns to pretty much every large-scale project proposed in the history of the state, including various motorways, the Lewis, the Metro Underground, the National Children's Hospital and, of course, the National Broadband Plan. Clearly, there is a conflict of interest when ministers announce projects for political reasons, yet ignore the financial and regulatory realities of implementing the project. The evaluation of projects should not be done by people who propose the projects. Conflict of interest that can lead to underestimated costs, plus it is clear that incompetent governments need to be stopped before crises like the homelessness and health crisis emerge again in the future. And this is not even to mention the climate change and the need for the National Development Plan to address climate change issues, which this plan completely ignores and totally neglects. Indeed, the government does say that they have factored in some climate measures in some of the plan, but not in all of it, and that is way beyond what needs to be happening at that stage, and the government needs to realise that and wake up and smell the coffee to ensure that they actually can meet the targets that are necessary for all of us for the climate future. The National Development Plan is currently out of date and needs to be revised to take into account these cost overruns and also the climate change responsibilities. And any compensation to address the cost deficit will need to be looked at in detail so that funding can be secured in a fair and transparent manner. And rural areas like Donegal that have not benefited from any of the developments over the past need to be addressed as well, and climate responsibility needs to be put in there. And that needs to be public projects, public infrastructure, public transport needs, and that is what will actually deliver for them. Thank you.